And in a new tech community blog post, Microsoft acknowledged the issues surrounding bad drivers being delivered through Windows Update and bricking parts of your system. They're not sure where those drivers came from, but we're all trying to find the guy who did this.
Microsoft just held a funeral for a 40-year-old institution, and the casket was buried in silence. No eulogy, no press release, no acknowledgement to the billion people who depend on the product they quietly put in the ground. While Satya Nadella was standing in front of Wall Street describing Windows as a strong platform with a bright future, internal organizational charts were telling a completely different story. The Windows division, the engine that turned Microsoft into the most powerful software company on earth, was being methodically taken apart behind closed doors, piece by piece, team by team. And the man who spent decades building it only found out the same way you're about to find out now, through documents Microsoft never intended to surface. So before we go any further, if this is the kind of story you want to stay ahead of before it hits the mainstream, subscribe right now and hit the notification bell, because Microsoft is counting on most people never connecting these dots. Let's connect them. Here is what the data actually shows. And this is not opinion, this is organizational math. In December of 2025, Microsoft maintained a dedicated Windows and Devices division with 8,700 full-time employees, a complete operation, engineers building the next version of the operating system, security teams protecting over 1 billion active users, product managers, developer relations staff, insider program coordinators, a living division with a clear purpose. By April of 2026, that division no longer exists as an independent business unit. The headcount in Windows-specific roles has collapsed from 8,700 down to fewer than 3,000, and those 3,000 are not organized into a cohesive team. They are scattered remnants spread across cloud divisions and artificial intelligence groups, where Windows functions as a background layer, not a headline product. The dedicated leadership structure is gone, the independent budget is gone, the organizational identity is gone. Do the subtraction. 5,700 employees no longer hold Windows-specific roles after fewer than 5 months. That is 66% of an entire division eliminated, and Microsoft has said nothing about any of it publicly, not to users, not to investors, not to the press. Not even to Bill Gates, whose reaction when he found out reportedly crossed the line from disappointment into fury. We will get to that. But first, you need to understand the scale of what just happened, because this is not a trimming, this is not a restructuring. What the organizational charts show is a systematic withdrawal from resources from the product that made Microsoft what it is, and it happened while the company's public messaging ran in the opposite direction. Think about what that means for you personally. If you are running Windows right now, if your business depends on it, if your hospital, your school, or your local government relies on it, the team that was responsible for securing and advancing that product has been gutted. The people who woke up every morning thinking about Windows are gone. What remains is a skeleton crew maintaining a system that leadership has reclassified from flagship product to background infrastructure. And nobody sent you a memo about that change in status. The team that was responsible for securing and advancing that product has been gutted. The people who woke up every morning thinking about Windows are gone. What remains is a skeleton crew maintaining a system that leadership has reclassified from flagship product to background infrastructure, and nobody sent you a memo about that change in status. That post sat on Blind with hundreds of reactions within 48 hours, because Marcus was not alone. Dozens of similar posts appeared through January and February of 2026 as the transition notices rolled out across teams. Long-tenured employees discovering, in corporate language, that the work they defined their careers around had been reclassified as unnecessary overhead. If this story is already making sense to you, hit like right now so more people can actually find it. Because the part you haven't heard yet is the part Microsoft really doesn't want public.
So Microsoft is developing cloud-initiated driver recovery, which will identify borked drivers, create a recovery request, deliver the rollback instruction to your device through Windows Update, and, most importantly, confirm an approved driver to install before uninstalling the bad one. So they forgot about that a couple times.
The paper trail that exposed the shutdowns started circulating among journalists in April of 2026. Bloomberg obtained a series of internal Microsoft communications spanning December 2025 through February 2026. Together, these memos reveal not a company evolving a product, but a company quietly exiting one. The first document is dated the 12th of December 2025. A memo from Satya Nadella to senior leadership, subject line, Windows Engineering Integration. The key passage reads that Windows engineering teams will be absorbed into the Cloud and Artificial Intelligence division effective the first quarter of 2026. The stated rationale was eliminating organizational silos that slow down innovation. The actual outcome was eliminating Windows as an independent operating unit with its own direction and budget. A second memo followed in early January 2026, addressed directly to Windows division managers. The language was polished but unambiguous. The Windows-specific management layer was being dissolved. Managers had two options: accept reassignment to a different division or take a severance package and leave. The message underneath the corporate phrasing was clear: there is no longer a place for you here as a Windows leader. Then, on the 14th of February 2026, a finance communication confirmed what the organizational changes had already implied. The Windows Division Cost Center was being dissolved in the fiscal year 2027. Windows had been formally reclassified, no longer a revenue-generating product category, now described as a foundational platform supporting other services. In plain language, something you keep the lights on for, not something you invest in building. This is where it stops being abstract. Marcus Webb had spent 19 years in Redmond as a senior Windows security engineer, not a junior employee. He led a team of 22 people working on infrastructure that protects systems running inside hospitals, financial institutions, and government agencies. In the third week of January 2026, he received his transition notice. His team was being divided. 12 members were being reassigned to Microsoft's Security and Compliance division. The remaining 10, including Marcus, were offered voluntary separation packages. He took the severance. He later posted anonymously on the employee platform Blind. 19 years, I helped secure an operating system that runs critical national infrastructure, and at the end of it, they handed me a form with a deadline to respond by. No town hall, no acknowledgement of what the team built, just a severance calculation and a box for my personal items. That post sat on Blind with hundreds of reactions within 48 hours, because Marcus was not alone. Dozens of similar posts appeared through January and February of 2026 as the transition notices rolled out across teams. Long-tenured employees discovering, in corporate language, that the work they defined their careers around had been reclassified as unnecessary overhead. If this story is already making sense to you, hit like right now so more people can actually find it. Because the part you haven't heard yet is the part Microsoft really doesn't want public.
I'm having a great time right now. It's been 30 minutes of trying to install one program. Holy. You ever feel like Windows just keeps getting worse? It's almost like every week they add more bloat, adds half-baked updates on features that already work just fine, and slide in AI crap where it shouldn't be.
The financial community began asking questions in April of 2026. A research note from Bernstein published on the 14th of April stated directly that Microsoft's recent disclosures raised significant questions about the current state of the Windows organization. Analysts noted that LinkedIn profile data pointed to a substantial reduction in Windows-specific headcount that had never been addressed in any earnings call or investor communication. The firm formally recommended that Microsoft provide transparency on these organizational changes and clarify the strategic direction for Windows going forward. Microsoft did not respond to those questions. That silence is its own answer. A company with hundreds of communications professionals does not go quiet on a specific topic by accident. And while analysts were carefully framing questions about headcount, Satya Nadella was on a February earnings call describing Windows as a critical Microsoft platform. No mention of the division restructuring, no mention of the 66% reduction in Windows-specific staff, no mention that Windows 12, the next major operating system version users had been anticipating, had been canceled without any public announcement. The people who bought Windows 11 on the promise of a continuing roadmap were never told that roadmap was being quietly shelved. Bill Gates, according to sources familiar with the situation, learned about the dismantling through the same leaked documents that reached journalists. Microsoft's current leadership had not briefed him, had not consulted him, had not extended the basic courtesy of informing the person who created the product that the team responsible for it was being dissolved. His response, described by someone familiar with the exchange, was not measured disappointment, it was direct anger. Gates reportedly confronted Satya Nadella with a straightforward position. If Windows is being wound down, be honest enough to say so publicly. What is happening instead is a deliberate concealment dressed in reorganization language. Employees who gave decades to this product deserved transparency. Users depending on it deserved transparency. Describing a 66% staff reduction and a canceled successor version as strategic evolution is not honest communication. It is the opposite of it. Nadella's position, as described, was that Windows was not ending, only changing, that integrating Windows teams into cloud and artificial intelligence infrastructure was modernization, not retreat, that the platform remained important to Microsoft's strategy. Gates pushed back. You do not modernize something by eliminating 2/3 of the people responsible for building it. You do not strengthen a product by canceling its next version. You do not invest in a platform's future by reclassifying it as a cost center in next year's budget. These are the decisions of an organization winding down a commitment, not deepening one. And Gates has no formal authority to reverse it. His role is advisory. He can challenge the decision. He cannot stop it. Here is where the trajectory leads if nothing changes. Windows survives as a shell, a familiar interface that routes users towards subscriptions and cloud services. Security patches continue, the basic experience is maintained, but the active development, the competition for developer loyalty, the ambition to build something that earns its place on every computer in the world, that is over. And the competitors filling that void are not waiting politely. Linux adoption among professional developers crossed 27% in early 2026 and is accelerating month over month. Mac continues taking enterprise market share in sectors where Windows once had no serious competition. The engineers who left Windows teams in January and February are now building the next generation of software on platforms that are not Windows. The applications they create will reflect the tools they use, and those tools are increasingly not Microsoft's. The users who remained loyal through 4 years of Windows 11 frustrations, through Copilot interruptions and hardware compatibility walls and mandatory account requirements, they stayed because they believed someone at Microsoft was genuinely working to earn that loyalty back. That belief was the most valuable remaining asset Windows had, and it was quietly allowed to expire along with the division that was supposed to protect it. Subscribe now if you want to stay ahead of where this is actually heading, and share this video, because over 1 billion people use Windows every single day, and almost none of them have any idea what just happened to the team that was supposed to have their back.